Hello everybody, and welcome to a Mogswamp tutorial. My name is Mogswamp, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to build this fully customizable Mog Farm, or Mob Harvester. Oh, sorry about that. So, we're going to be going step by step. You can basically build this in 3 easy steps, and let's take a look. So, step number 1. Basically, the blocks in this tutorial are the dark gray block, which is going to represent the outline of the farm, the light blue block, which represents the blocks we are currently placing on the step we're on, and the white blocks, which represent the blocks we've already placed. So, first of all, we're going to want to build this shape. You start at a center point, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out to the sides, and you basically build this little eye out of the gray wool. Also, you can build this eye one thicker if you're going to be doing the redstone. Now, this redstone, as you can see, makes it so that spawning is disabled within the farm and mobs can no longer spawn. So if you want to have a switch to turn it on and off, then you can do that. But if you are not going to do that, then you can stick with this design and just keep it one wide. Okay, on to part 2. Basically, we're going to build up the spawn pads. And let me just show you. In each of these 5x5 boxes, you're going to want to leave 4 blocks, which is where the water will go. So these 4 blocks are excluded, and in each of these eyes, you're going to want to bring it out 3, and those are your spawn pads. So now you repeat that on every side and build them up 2 blocks. Make sure it's 2. And these slabs are for disabling spiders. We're not going to want spiders to spawn in here, as the hole in the center is only 1 wide, and spiders can climb up walls and clog your system. If you wanted to make it spider compatible, you could take off the half slabs, possibly widen the water stream, and maybe make a 3 wide or 2 wide hole. But anyways, we're not going to be doing that today, so but after you've done all that, you're basically already to go on to part 3. That's how simple this design is. So you're going to build up your spawning pads, make sure the slabs are placed correctly. What these slabs do is spiders spawn in a 3x3 area, so that's a 3x3, and these slabs will disable because they block the spawning area. So spiders can no longer spawn there, and they cannot spawn in this 3x3 because it's blocked there. In this 3x3 it's blocked in 2 places, and in this 3x3 it's blocked there. Another way you can do this is like this, blocking the center of each 3x3, but this is not as efficient as you lose 3 spawn spaces rather than 2. So, on to step 3. In step 3, you basically place the water. These water streams are very convenient. You place a water stream in each corner. As you can see, there's no tricks here. It just goes straight to the center. And you repeat this on each side, and the water should end up perfectly at the center. And no signs or stairs or anything are needed. And then you're going to want to build up the outside of the farm. And this, if you build it up 3, it will spawn endermen, although I do not recommend doing this because endermen, as soon as they walk off, will fall into the water, get damaged, and teleport away. And so if you cap it off at too high, only skeletons, creepers, and zombies will spawn, and you can begin the next level here. So that means the farm is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tall, because this starts the next level. And if you have endermen, the farm will be 6 tall. So keep that in mind if you're going to build a big tower. Now, let's try and see this in action. So we're going to put the difficulty to hard mode, and mobs should start spawning in there. I've gone ahead and built 2 of these, So built it up 2 levels, exactly what you see here. And of course we're going to get slimes throughout the world, but I have it right now leading below the world so that it doesn't lag our world. And the mobs should just exit through a hole around here somewhere. Oh, I think I just saw one right now. There it is. So, as you can see, it might be a little dark right now, but I believe my brightness is all the way up. So I apologize for that, but if you can see anything, let's try and put some lava here. This will, of course, make the spawning a little less efficient. The mobs sometimes can get stuck here, but generally they're going to want to walk off, and they'll fall into the water and be carried almost immediately into this hole. If we put lava here, we might be able to see better. And the mobs will burn there instead. So yes, as you can see, it's not as efficient anymore because of the lava lighting, but it's so efficient that often the mobs can get stuck in there. And if we go up to this level, looks like we haven't actually placed the water on this level. That's my bad. So go around and place the water. This is going to create quite the traffic jam, but that's okay. So as you can see, it works quite well. And right now I'm going to turn it off and really quick take you through the lighting in case you want to be able to disable your farm. Okay, so over here we have a duplicate of the first level, but with redstone. So your switch can go here or on any side. You can rotate this any way you like. But basically, you're going to want to go around and just make sure the redstone powers every torch. I'm sure there's other ways you can do this. This is the way I came up with to make sure it's all hidden. Basically, you're going to want to use these blocks, the same kind of material. Basically, what these blocks do is, without them, as you can see, that that lamp is not powered, and this will just cut the wire, and if we update the redstone, then the lamp will power. So we basically follow this design all the way around. For the first one, we just have a repeater going into a block, powers it directly upwards, and then we just branch around. We have a repeater going into a block with redstone on top. We cut the wire, run it underneath, and repeat that pattern all the way around. And you can do this any way you like, any direction, however it pleases you. And if you like, you can even put in a little more of a delay. Although you're probably not going to be seeing this, it will create a sort of rippling effect across the system. So, flick the switch. They will periodically go off, like so, or periodically turn on. Not periodically, but in a circle, so to speak. And so, just to show you what this looks like when it's done, if you follow the exact same steps as step 2, build up the spawn pads. You'll just have little tunnels going through here. Make sure none of them are too high, and then basically for this you'll have wire showing. You're just going to want to build up the wall here. Now the reason you're going to want a too wide wall is because there will be some wire showing. There's ways around this, but it's very complex wiring. So basically I say if you're going to do the lighting, just build these eyes as too thick, as I said in the beginning of the tutorial. But that's how you cover up this redstone, and this redstone right here should be covered up by a half slab, if we can find one. Here we go. And we'll put one there and there to disable spiders, and the redstone no longer shows. So once we cover up all these areas, then the redstone should no longer be visible, for aesthetic reasons as well as for making sure mobs don't get in there, nothing gets in there, water, etc. And it's very important to make sure that however you wire this, you're going to let me sleep real quick. Sorry about that. As I was saying, it's very important that however you wire this, you leave these 2 blocks, because when you put the water in, and of course the pad will go like so. When you put the water in, you don't want it to wash away any of the redstone wiring, so you need to leave these 3 blocks to protect the wiring, and then you should be good. So that is how you do the lighting. Now I'm going to show you some cool things you can do with this design and what I've done with it on my personal flat world. Right, so here we are on my official Mog Farm test world. This is where I first came up with the design, and right here we have a copy of my flat world. I do a let's play on the flat world. It's 100% legitimate, and this is the design I came up with for that. This was just a little redstone wiring experiment that I was doing. We can remove this. So basically this is a 24 block distance, so that the mobs will be 1 hit kill from fall damage if we place 1 block here, and I believe all of them will die if we remove that block. Except for zombies are a little bit different because they have armor. But anyways, as you can see, ignore this, I was just seeing how the design would look if I built it up very far. As you can see, I've taken the design and I've repeated it 4 times against itself, and that leaves us, the original design by itself has 108 blocks of spawning space. Sorry, I'm just switching to my calculator real quick, and if we have 4, we have 432 blocks of spawning space per level, and let's say you make 10 levels of that. That's 4,320 blocks of spawning space if I build 10 levels of this. So that's one of the cool things you can do. This is completely repeatable. So, and in between here, I've gone and I've put a little tiny mob spawner inside. And how this works is mobs hit the pressure plate, which powers the repeater, and there's a redstone right there. And so as soon as a mob spawns, it should be pushed off. It's a little buggy with people, but they'll be pushed off into this water. Incidentally, it works perfectly that the water streams are all lined up. This is where, let me just show you. This is where the bottom of each spawner ends up in one of these 4 corners. The mobs are then carried perfectly 8 blocks and then dropped here, where they're carried another perfect 8 blocks, and then they fall down here, and the mobs from the tiny spawners are carried directly down here and down this tube. Now, I'm going to show you a quick test of this. I'm going to put it on hard mode again. But keep in mind that one of these is disabled, so you're only getting the power of 3. Actually, 2 of them are disabled at the moment. Let me just fix that real quick. One of these is disabled right now because I'm working on the lighting, because since we have these things in the middle, the lighting becomes a little more complex. As you can see though, I've begun to figure it out. I have to wrap around here, basically the same design here. However, right here, we have to go up a block, up another block, and then power it that way, so as to not disrupt the wiring right here for the mini spawner. So, if anyone needs a tutorial on this design with the 4 back-to-back spawners, then just let me know. Right now we're gonna check out how the farm's doing. Already we're seeing mobs floating down, and that's only 3 of these 4. So if we repeat this up, we're going to get an incredible amount of mobs. Now, of course, this design has its pros and cons. The pros being it's got a lot of spawning space, it's repeatable and customizable. Some of the cons are that you can't spawn spiders or endermen. The mobs take a little bit to process. They have to walk off themselves rather than being pushed off, but that part of that is remedied by these quick spawners in here, which do a good job of processing mobs a little faster and I assure you that they actually do make a little bit of a difference. So if you're thinking about doing a 4 design, I would strongly consider putting those little mini spawners in between. It's a very nice way to set it up. If anybody needs a tutorial on that, just let me know. I'll be sure to make one. Let me just throw away this, and we'll see how much loot we've gotten already. So I have nothing on me, as you can see, and we walk in, and we have 13 bone, 16 gunpowder, 5 rotten flesh, 7 arrows. So it works quite well. Of course, if you're not on a flat world, you're going to have to do a lot of lighting up of caves. And one of the other cons to this approach is that the mobs do pile up quite quickly. The system can't really handle them because the mobs begin to push each other at the middle, and it takes a little bit for them to fall down. But I mean, it's a good problem to have. If I come up with a solution, I'll be sure to let you guys know, make a new tutorial. But I think that is all for today. Thank you for watching, and good luck.